the 2K Sports pregame show.
The NBA season is in high gear, and we are so glad to have you here with us on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. My companions are Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. The fans are filling the seats out in Boston, the site of our broadcast, and where the Celtics will be going up against the Golden State Warriors. Well, for Golden State, they've had a tough time over the last few weeks. 3-7 in their last 10 games. We'll see if they can make amends tonight. And as we take a few moments here, Shaq, the term basketball IQ is constantly thrown around these days. What exactly is meant by that? Because I don't have it.
Ernie, I have no
IQ.
idea. You know, you can be smarter than me if you want to. You can be a Rhodes Scholar, but you know what I will do to you. Doesn't necessarily mean you make good decisions on the basketball court. Basketball IQ, that term is overrated.
Maybe Kenny has an answer to this one.
Well, I think most people, when they first hear about it, they're talking about seeing the floor, having the ability to operate in the flow of the game and understand the time and score relationship. That's what a basketball IQ is. Like not taking a three-point shot with 24 seconds on the shot clock when you're up 9.
Not fouling a jump shooter.
Yeah, that's basketball IQ.
Okay, thank you. Kevin Harlan has a very high basketball IQ. Shaq has it too.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He just doesn't like it.
I went to BYB, Bust Your Butt University.
It's Friday night, and live on 2K Sports, we're going to bring you the NBA in all its excitement. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. We have an interconference showdown here in Boston, where the Celtics will square off. They're getting their first look of the season at the Warriors in this one. They lost both of the matchups in this interconference battle a season ago. They like to change that now.
An East-West showdown, only one of 2 games between these squads.
And because of that, the time is now to seize control of the matchup. We'll see who strikes first.
Now Golden State's starting 5. Barnes and Green of the forward set. Steph Curry's out there with Barbosa, and it's Bogut in at center.
And Isaiah Thomas, traded last season from Phoenix over to Boston, seemed to be a matter of fit and not production as to why they moved him.
Now here is Barbosa. 5 on the clock. Here's Green. Hits the jump hook. Here's Thomas. Greg, you were talking about Isaiah Thomas. He had no love lost for the Suns in their first meeting. He took them apart, Clark, on the floor. Remember that game? Stared them down as he was hitting shots. Looked at that bench, man. He had a big chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, and you know, most guys that are a little undersized and have battled doubters all their careers bring that kind of edge anyway. You throw in the fact that he was disappointed how the trade unfolded. He was amped up and ready for that return visit.
Curry. Quick shot there, and it's off target. Look at the last game for the Golden State Warriors. It was a win against the Pacers in Indiana.
And really an emphatic win for them, especially considering that it came in an opponent's building, and there's no question it was their offense that carried it.
I love the way they went and got this game, Greg. I mean, they attacked at every opportunity, never relaxed or sat back, and as a result, they eventually pulled away.
Here's Curry after the basket by Boston. Barbosa, a screen on Brown. Uncovered, and there's Barbosa. That's good on the assist by Curry.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Here's the Cobra. He had 13 points in the win against Chicago. And Curry, here we go. Comes up empty down low. The Celtics have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. With the teardrop, and it's good on the layup.
And it's all about the release when you shoot the floaters.
Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. He dishes it to Green. Screen by Bogut to the paint. Barbosa against Thomas. Barnes kicks to Barbosa. Just 4 to shoot. Fires from deep. Off the mark, his first miss of the game, 1 for 2. Now Thomas, 14 points from him the last game against Chicago, and that one's good.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find something, you're right. Now here's Barnes. Against Indiana, he was really on his game. And the Warriors miss again.
Yeah, but the hand in the face, it's critical that you contest his shots every time down the floor.
Here's Barbosa. Lee with the steal. And pushing it up, here's Boston. Brown's got the ball. Thomas dishes to Lee. He feeds it to Brown. 6 to shoot. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a tough day on this defense if he's got the A game rolling tonight.
And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach so far that we've seen for the Celtics?
Guys, right from the start, it's been apparent they're determined to establish a presence in the paint.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
Brown no good on the free throw. The Celtics really seemed to get better as last season wore on too. GA finished the year looking very dangerous.
And Kevin, with the Celtics, they were dynamite after the All-Star break. Had the second best record in the Eastern Conference post-All-Star.
You know, one of the big things for the Celtics after the All-Star break was they played smarter. I mean, they went from the middle of the pack in terms of turnovers to a team that rarely made mistakes.
Yeah, that's a good point about the Celtics and their turnovers. Last year, after the All-Star break, they were 4th in the league in limiting their mistakes. They played well beyond their years down the stretch.
And he knocks down the first one.
Well, I tell you, the Warriors roster fit together hand in glove. They were led by the Splash Brothers, but the front court and the bench really complemented the rest of the team perfectly because all of the players for the Warriors were extremely versatile and highly skilled.
So he gets them both. As you're talking about the Warriors, you know, they were built to play with each other last year. The bigs could all pass very well, and that set up the three-point threats.
And then even on the defensive side, I mean, they had players that really complemented each other. I mean, some undersized power forwards who countered with rim protectors. I mean, they also had the length at every perimeter position to switch on any play. So they are equally as adept on that side of the ball.
For three, Barbosa, good. Barbosa's got 5 points so far.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
Outside Thomas. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. And it goes on Draymond Green.
And guys, as much as Isaiah Thomas can help you on offense, at times he can hurt you on the defensive side. Immediately posted up by whomever he's guarding, you have to give help. And of course, that leaves your defense vulnerable, particularly on the weak side and controlling that defensive backboard.
And he can't get the first one. Greg, you're talking about Isaiah Thomas before. Certainly his short stature limits him on Clark, the defensive side.
Yeah, but you know what? He doesn't rack up a ton of steals given his instincts and quickness. I think he really focuses on making his impact at the offensive end.
West is checked in for Golden State, and he's good on the second.
And guys, one thing that we were treated with last year was Steve Kerr's great quotability in post-game interviews and pressers. He said all the right things and deflected praise like a coach who had done it for many years.
Now here's Curry. 14 points from him the last game against Indiana. Takes the three. That one misses. 3 shots all come up empty. For Boston, they've gone 5 of 8 from the field, shooting over 62%. Outside Thomas. Pass to the Cobra. And that one's drained from the low block. The Cobra's got 6. And Kerr is so good with the media because, Greg, he was a media member himself for so long. You know that as well as anybody. Clark, I don't think he ever tried his hand at broadcasting, though. I can't see him doing that, could you?
Yeah, right,
No.
right. He probably just thrown on as a broadcaster and would rarely contribute anything of note. Some guys have what it takes to call games, and Steve just doesn't quite scratch me as that kind of guy.
Now, here is Barbosa. He had 10 points in the win against Indiana.
And also 3 steals, so he showed some grit and determination on the defensive side.
Now Brown. David West missing on the 3. Brown the pass to the Cobra. Rebound Bogut.
Very tough when you have that good of a look. The defense caught a break there because he missed.
Over to the wing. Nobody near Barnes. And it's off from three-point range. Celtics leading by 4. Outside Thomas. Now the feed to Brown. Here's the screen. That one's all good. Now he's 3 for 5 from the field.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Boston making some changes. Al Horford, he's checked in for the Cobra. Warren comes in for David Lee. And Marcus Smart is subbed in for Isaiah Thomas. Golden State also making some changes. Spates checked in for Bogut. Iguodala comes in for Barnes. And Porter subbed in for Leandro Barbosa. Now here's Curry. He's one of the better scorers in the league, averaging almost 25 points a game. Porter with it. Picked by West. Porter kicks to Curry. Trying to get back on track. And Boston with the rebound. This game coming on the heels of their win against Chicago.
And then in that game, guys, I mean, the beneficiary of what was some very lackluster defense being played against them.
Agreed, guys. It was really quite shocking and disappointing how many free runs to the hoop they got.
Here's Curry. Marcus Smart picking up that last basket. Picked by West. Iguodala dishes to Porter. He got right to the cup using that screen.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
Here's the kid. He's covered by Iguodala.
They've come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass today.
Yeah, and it's already got them a +5 margin in the rebound column.
You know, getting that first make is key after 4 misses to start, guys. I mean, hopefully he can build on that.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Brad Stevens and I got a chance to talk for a bit. We talked about David West and what makes him such a tough player to defend. Coach said, West is special because he's so skilled for a player of his size and strength. He can score inside and also spread the floor with his shooting. He can have a quiet night and still drop 20 and 10. So we've got to stay conscious of him at all times. Guys, we'll see how they do against him.
Thanks again, Doris. Here's Curry, following the basket by Al Horford. And here is Iguodala. He picked up 12 points in their last win against Indiana. And that one's good by Porter.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness.
Here's the kid. We saw him with 19 points his last outing. And the shot by Warren, no good.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
That ties the game. Spates has got his first bucket of the night.
And that lead pass allowed him to get straight to the rim, unabated, in stride.
And now, the first timeout called here for Boston.
And Andre Iguodala, guys, one of the most unselfish players in the league. I mean, that unselfishness for me, too, is what was put to a test last season as the former All-Star was asked by his coach, Steve Kerr, to come off the bench for the Warriors. And you know what? He did it without complaint, putting the team first.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Sullinger's checked in for the kid, and it's Avery Bradley in for Brown. Now, here's Horford. His last outing, he had 8 points. Good. And the Celtics lead by 2. And for Iguodala, some have said he's unselfish Clark to a fault.
Yeah, and you know, a great athlete and ball handler, I think he could be much more aggressive looking to attack off the dribble. He's really unique, though, a player who puts his emphasis on the defensive end and does a really good job at that end of the floor.
The Warriors have gotten 7 of their first 16 field goal attempts to go down here in the first. Kicks to Spates. West down low. Sullinger's there, and George Sullinger picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, he kind of slid underneath as he got to the spot, too.
Iguodala, the pass to Spates. Porter kicks to Curry. From the top of the key.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
Misses for the 5th time this game, marking it 1 for 6. Warren, good.
It is so hard to contain. He just seems to get it done however he has to do it.
Warriors trail by 4. We've got 1:48 left to play in the first. Spade sets a screen for West. Here's Porter. It's hauled in by Warren.
And that's letting the defense off the hook. No excuse for blowing that layup.
Sullinger is screen on Porter. Now here's Smart. D right on him. 6 on the shot clock. Sullinger with a screen for Bradley. Iguodala with the steal. Oh, and here comes Iguodala all alone. Throws down the breakaway jam.
It's as if the defense just let him go.
He'll thank them for that because he got a chance to perform a little razzle-dazzle on that one.
Now here's Smart. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. Sullinger outside. Just 5 on the clock. And it's Bradley off the drive. And he gets it to go. And the Celtics lead by 4.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low. And I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation. But, boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
And that's just showing off right there, guys. I mean, he is too good with that crossover.
And David West gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. .34 seconds left in the first. Horford kicks to Warren. Smart with the ball. West picks him up. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Boston shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight.
Marcus Smart.
And that one falls for Smart. And so, Smart nails both of them.
That's a familiar sight. He hardly ever wastes his chances at the line. Cashes in regularly.
Here's Curry. 7 points in the game. West setting the pick for Curry. And there's the pass to West. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim.
Excellent feed from Steph Curry.
Now Smart. Here's Horford. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Horford's got his third basket of the night right there.
The number of points they've scored in the paint already today is pretty eye-opening.
It really is, Clark. The defenders need to do a better job of closing those lanes to the hoop.
And that concludes the first quarter of play. Celtics out in front, up by 4. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. And Steph Curry, a player within the gym range. He told us about his comfort stretching the floor. I was going to say, Greg, how big must that hoop look to Steph Curry? And tough to guard might be the understatement of the day.
I mean, he is just an insanely great shooter. I mean, arguably, I don't think there's an argument. He's the best shooter in the world. The argument is whether or not he's the best shooter ever. And listen, I can imagine there's very few times that Coach Curry is not going to allow this splash brother to let her rip.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And what do you guys think about Boston here in this one?
And we've really seen them get out and establish a real nice rhythm offensively in this game.
Yeah, and they're finding ways to score multiple ways, playing well and sharing the ball, just operating good at the offensive end.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the court for the Celtics, Horford is out there with David Lee. Then there's Brown. Then it's Isaiah Thomas. And it's the kid in at the 3 spot. Here's Thomas. Andrew Bogut making his last shot.
Boy, he really bungled that finish.
So many great statistics are available to demonstrate just how dominant the Warriors were last season. My favorite is, GA, their point differential.
You know, to be able to beat your opponent by double digits on average is something only 8 teams have been able to do in the history of the league.
It's amazing. And here is Thomas following Draymond Green's 3. Barbosa against Thomas. Thomas with another miss. The Warriors have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. Iguodala kicks to Barnes. Green, the screen. Brown against Iguodala. Lock at 6. Back to Barnes. The 3. Lee with the block. And now it's Brown running. He can go all the way. That's good. Brown's got 8 points.
That's a terrific sequence at both ends of the floor. They block the shot and recover it for the fast break finish.
Green, the screen. Now here's Barnes. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Thomas with the ball. Barbosa picks him up. And Thomas, here we go. After 2 misses to start the game, he's on the board with that shot made.
That was the 3rd straight high percentage look this defense has allowed. I mean, these defenders have got to start bumping bodies in the paint. Be more physical. Be more aggressive.
The game's just far too easy right now when it comes to attacking the basket. They have got to do better.
Here's Barbosa. Isaiah Thomas making his last shot. Here's the break. On up the court. And the shot is good. Now it's a 5-point Boston lead.
That's how you make an impact with defense. Once the steal is made, you know they're going to be scattered. The floor is open. Take care of business.
Always an advantage when you can get out in the open floor. You get much better rhythm offensively. And this lead, I think, is headed up.
Here's Bogut after the made shot from David Lee. And the call will be against David Lee. That's his first foul.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was 1 step late that time, Greg.
The Cobra, he's checked in for Al Horford. Iguodala dishes to Barbosa. Shot clock at 6. Here's Barnes. Feeds to Bogut. Unloads from 13. And that's off the glass and in. Bogut's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Just a major size difference between the defender and shooter on that possession.
And Greg, without a hand in his face, he's simply going to spray whoever's there.
Here's the Cobra. 6 points for him. Lee passes to Brown. Offensive rebound. Here's the Cobra. Outside Thomas. Passes it to the kid. Here's the Cobra, covered by Bogut. Here's the Cobra. His three-pointers off the mark.
And he made sure not to just draw the foul. That was good defense out on the perimeter.
Very good. He's a thinking man's defender. Knows how to bother even the best shooters without being overly aggressive. Of all the guys you want to leave open out on the perimeter, he is the absolute last guy on the list. Attention to detail. Know your personnel.
Now here's Thomas. He's been playing a big part of their offensive scheme, averaging around 15.5 points a game.
Uh-oh, a little showboating at the end of that one.
Golden State's gone 2 of 4 from three-point range so far in the second quarter. Barbosa kicks to Green. Some nice passing by Golden State here. And here comes Brown, leading the fast break. Makes the bucket. Now he's got 5 field goals, 5 for 8 in the game.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
And Greg, you know, the defense has been very slow to adapt. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside.
Now here's Barnes. And they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
A nice bounce back year for Harrison Barnes, Clark, in year 3. Moved into the starting lineup last year and really responded.
Yeah, he did. I think he benefited from the new system. He was miscast as an isolation scorer, but when he can spot up for threes and catch the ball on the move, that's his game.
And you saw how quick the defense was. They were ready for him. They got the hand in the face there and made that much more difficult.
Yeah, and every team needs that kind of rugged interior defense because you want to try to distract your opponents when they get inside, and you also want to make them uncomfortable in their shot attempts.
Knocked loose. Iguodala dishes to Barbosa. Iguodala outside. Green kicks to Barnes. Barbosa up top. He's guarded by Thomas. Barbosa against Thomas. Second chance shot. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Harrison Barnes, very athletic. He certainly passes the eye test. And with his size, he can punish smaller wings and create mismatches. And then also he can play some small ball power forward at times as well with the way they like to space the floor.
Looking at who's out there now for the Celtics. Sullinger's checked in for Lee. T.J. Warren comes in for the kid. And Smart subbed in for Isaiah Thomas. Free throw drops for Barbosa.
And you talk about Harrison Barnes overall. He had a nice uptick in his rebounding last year, and that was a goal of his. He wanted to get his activity level up. And oftentimes the difference between being good and great is just making those small incremental improvements in different facets of your game.
Boston's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Now here's Smart, guarded by Curry. Smart passes to the Cobra. Turnaround Jay. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. The Cobra's got 8 points.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the league.
Curry against Brown. Curry kicks to Green. Dishes it to Porter. Curry. No good. That would have tied it. Celtics leading by 3. Smart with the ball. Here's Sullinger, and again it's Boston converting.
When they pulled up from mid-range, more often than not, they buried it.
And that shot might not be the #1 option, but if the D will give it to you and you get it in rhythm, that's the one you take.
Now here's Porter. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Pacers in Indianapolis.
Yeah, but he set up shop at the free throw line. I mean, he just could not be defended out on the floor.
Here's Curry, trailing by 5. And that one's good.
They're absolutely stroking it from outside. I mean, textbook perfect. Good balance, nice high release, splash.
Smart with the ball, guarded by Curry. And here's Smart, wants to get it to Brown and does.
Boy, oh boy, to be young again. My, oh my. Got me thinking back to my days.
Oh, yeah, right. It does make you nostalgic, doesn't it?
Well, speak for yourself, because I could never throw it down like that, but I will say it sure looks fun, doesn't it?
Green dishes to Spates. At the top of the key, Barbosa. He kicks it to Porter. No good. Now Boston takes it the other way.
Well, you could see a change in the play with the Celtics after the trade deadline last year. Adding Isaiah Thomas gave them some pop off the bench and really created some balance for them offensively.
Here's the Cobra. Plays it up and banks it in. Now it's a 6-point Boston lead.
Whether by design or accident, that was a very high-quality shot they created.
Curry passes to Spates. Here's the dish to Barbosa. There's Porter with the 3, and he gets the bucket. Porter's got 8 points. And that was something the Celtics needed, adding Thomas, a player that could come in and provide Clark instant offense for them off the bench.
And, Kevin, I think that was a turning point for them last year. I mean, they saw that they had a chance to make a big leap forward after the trade and responded accordingly.
Avery Bradley, he's checked in for Boston. The Warriors also with a sub. West is checked in. Now Smart. Pass to Sullinger. No good. West with some nice D. Barbosa kicks to Porter, and he jams it with authority.
And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the rack.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.
Well, it was. I mean, a tight game like this one, you'd think they'd have a little more energy at the defensive end than that.
Sullinger up and in, off to an efficient start, 2 for 3 from the field.
And that's 6 straight points now, guys, coming on the inside.
Yeah, those are like body blows in boxing, starting to take it to him. Great effort.
Now here's Curry. He's got 10. He dishes it to Barbosa. He feeds it to West. Golden State moving it around. 5 on the clock. Here's Curry with the 3. Rebound Boston. Now here's Smart. 1:29 left in the first half of the game. West dishes to Porter. The kick out to Spates. Pass to Porter. The feed to Curry. And he makes the 8-footer. Curry's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Yeah, that's a difficult shot in the face of a defender that towers over him.
You know, guys sometimes love proving people wrong. You know that from guys you've played with. And, Greg, this mismatch gives him an opportunity to quiet the haters and naysayers.
Okay.
Bradley, no one around him. It's rebounded by West.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that. I'm not even going to comment on that.
Neither am I. I mean, if you're going to attempt a buzzer beater, I guess I will comment. Make sure there's actually a buzzer to beat.
Here's the Cobra. 10 points for him. Right side Bradley. Over in the corner, Warren. Unloads from 13. That misses off the backboard. Here's Curry. Spates sets a screen. Kicks it out to Barbosa. He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. Celtics lead by 1. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. I'm here with David Lee. And David, tell us what your approach was defensively in this game tonight.
Well, we made some mistakes here and there. Our biggest thing is if we don't turn the ball over, I think we're going to be okay. They got a couple easy buckets in transition.
Thank you for the time, sir. Guys, back to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. Boston found themselves in a close game in the first. At one point, they managed to push out ahead to an 8-point lead. They were outscored by just a bit in the second quarter as they go into the break now holding just a 1-point advantage. Kenny, what's your take on Boston so far?
One strong area has been their work on the boards. And you're trying to get ahead in the score and stay there, it often comes down to a few extra possessions. That's why any extra rebounds can make a big difference. Now they have to come out in the second half and attack the glass with the same vengeance.
Shaq, what are your thoughts on Golden State?
They played some solid team basketball, Arnie. Pretty good. They were sharing the ball. We saw some nice feeds, a lot of movement. It wasn't 5 individuals out there. It was one cohesive unit, and they got the assist to show for it. Their rhythm was nice.
And now, folks, it's just about time for the third quarter to begin. We will see you after the final buzzer.